Okay, another WE Tech video. I think I'm gonna start with the brands that I got first, and also it's good for if anyone is actually seeing these videos. These are the cheaper brands. It doesn't mean they're pieces of junk. This is a WE Tech T91. It's some sort of M4 replica. It's all metal. The handguard here is made out of some sort of polymer, but it would be in the real world too. You know, all metal barrel, flash suppressor that I stuck on there. It's okay. I marred up the metal a tiny bit. I wasn't very careful about it. It's got a retractable stock, very cheap one, very small piece, but on a gas blowback rifle, as you can see, there's an actual buffer tube that functions to give you that realistic feel of the kickback. Like I said, this is a WE Tech T91. WE Tech doesn't usually get the licensing, so you don't, that's what you got on there, okay? It's not like when I start to show some of the more expensive brands, you'll see what I mean. They get the licensing and they can put the trademarks on the airsoft guns if that type of stuff's important to you. This is more of an economical, introductory gas blowback gun. I know they've gone up in price a little bit. I believe a T91 might cost you like $350 nowadays. But real quick, WE Tech T91. I put that forward grip on it that I bought for cheap, just for funsies. It has a flashlight. It has a laser. I don't really like gripping the gun that way, so I may not leave it on there. But there's just this little tiny piece of rail underneath the barrel, and it's just perfect for a grip or a light. And so I put it on there for the video. Anyways. This is a typical gas blowback gun. If you pop the regular AR style pin out, I'll show you in a second. But it's this single pin right here. Sometimes you can get it with your finger. Sometimes you gotta press it through with something. Because I just pressed it through. Just get like a little something like that. Press it through. The other side of the lower receiver holds the pin. It doesn't fall out. But as you can see, here's your charging handle. It's connected to the bolt. This bolt actually does work similar to a real steel bolt. It goes back and forth, grabbing the BBs as they come up through from the magazine, just like I was showing you on this other bolt. Alright, as this thing is going, as this thing is going forward, this nozzle is grabbing BBs from the magazine, putting them into the barrel. This is a M4 metal gas blowback magazine for WE Techs and Tokyo Marui, other brands that would use a M4 gas blowback magazine. It'll usually tell you in the description. Fortunately, WE does work with some other brands. These only hold about 30 shots. That's your rubber boot that will meet up with the hop-up chamber area. That is called a gas knocker. That's when you pull the trigger, a little hammer hits that to release gas. That's where you fill the gas. That's called a fill valve. Okay, just like on other things that you fill with gas or propane or whatever. So we'll get back to the gun real quick. Right now I have it open. I've got the charging handle pulled back, exposing the bolt a little bit. When I get into this a little bit more, I'll set the camera up so I can show this better. But as you can see, the trigger group in there is Oh man, it's hard to see. But the trigger group, from what I've heard, isn't the best. I've had this gun for years and haven't broken it, but one good thing is you can pretty much take that out with a couple pins and pop in a new one. That's the thing about these gas blowbacks. That's why I have this open. This is all there is to it. Charging handle, the bolt, buffer tube, and this is the your your bolt catch. So when you run empty, this will hold your bolt open so that you can drop out a magazine, pop a new magazine in, press your bolt catch. It will close your bolt, enabling you to start firing again. That's why they refer to these as open bolt. It's really just another aspect of realism. There's a follower in the magazine that pretty much pushes up. When this thing runs dry, this little pointy thing right there will come up further. It's either that or a piece just like it. Comes up enough to push the magazine, the bolt catch into place, thus holding the bolt open, keeping the gun charged so that you can just pop another magazine in, hit that bolt catch, and start firing. So anyways, that's what the gun looks like in half. I'll do a better shot of it when I can actually set the camera up. So really quickly, I'm just gonna put it back together. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna set this thing up like that. I don't know what it's gonna see, but well, not gonna see anything now. Just bear with me for a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Anyways, there's that pin that was knocked out. There's the other side of it. There's the dust cover open. And there's the T91 put together, okay? There's the magazine. Alright, now I'm going to do a quick short of firing the T91. So, just like a regular AR-15, because the gun is cocked. I don't know why this is allowing it to go into safe. Usually you can't go into safe if the gun isn't cocked on an AR-15. Maybe this because this one's so old. Anyways, I'm gonna cut the video here and go in for some shooting. So I think I covered it all. It's a WE Tech. It's about $250. Maybe cost you about $350 now. Gas blowback rifle. Runs on what's called green gas. That's the fill hole. It's just propane mixed with some silicone. These rifles, you can actually clean them similar to your real steel rifles. You know, just use some silicone oil. You know, it's probably better to look at the gun from this side, but when you want to oil it up a little bit, put a little bit of oil inside the, you know, the chamber there. Just that's what sucks about having 6 dogs. You find pieces of dog hair in places you don't want it. I try to keep these things freaking clean. Anyways, put a little bit of oil, silicone oil, on a couple of the parts once in a while, just to keep friction from wearing things down. The trigger group, I heard, will break sooner or later, and it's just a drop-in replacement. I haven't had that problem. Typical M4 magazine release. Let's see, just regular dust cover. As soon as you go to pull back on that pop open. The hand guard is polymer. I put a little forward grip on there. The sights are stock iron sights. There's a couple of places for sling attachments, one being on the stock, well actually a couple being on the stock, and then there being a nice attachment for a sling right there. There's no quick detach QD. Yeah, see, either my fire selector's either broken or it just wasn't made true to spec, because right now the gun, I cocked it. Alright, I shouldn't be able to go into safe right now, but I can. I don't know, weird. Maybe because it's not a copy of a H&K or something, or I have no idea. Some of them work the proper way. Hollow handle, because there's no motor in there like on a electric airsoft rifle. Alright, I'm going to take a quick cut and then just fire off this magazine. 30 round magazine. These things might cost you somewhere between 30 and 50 bucks a piece. The guns usually come with one. If you have problems with it, instead of just buying more magazines, which I have done, you usually just need to replace this output valve or the input valve. Very easy to get to. Obviously this bottom plate comes off. There's a couple screws here and there. The whole thing comes apart. Even this idiot has fixed a couple of these. Instead of having to buy another $50 metal gas blowback mag, I had a $3 output valve that I replaced. And then just every once in a while put a drop of silicone on your valves. You know, they've got a lot of O-rings on them. That's rubber. That little boot looking thing right there, that's rubber. Put a little silicone on that once in a while. But don't go crazy gunking up your guns with grease. Keep them clean. You don't need to gunk and cover everything with PTFE grease. Some guys say don't even use it at all. Sometimes I might put a little bit of that on the bolt if it's rubbing, but silicone oil is usually fine. Alright, quick break.